the very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chukwu Dikabia Mapuni Chineke Nogende Sonefe Wena Usiala Nina in Agoza Hanso Yamu Nina Jama Anyana Ge Farusi Obanane Obia Mendi then saw no one Because you will make a difference with your source and we're not going But you know what? They would like you to believe that someone is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look what you do. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you. The very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chukwu Dikabia Mapuni Chineke Nogende Sonefe Wena Usiala Nina in Agoza Hanso Yamu Nina Jama Anyana Ge Farusi Obanane Obia Mendi then saw no one Because you will make a difference with your source and we're not going to But you know what? The monarchy don't believe that someone is the cause of this. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not. I have come. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you.
So you keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because one idiot that they groomed will rise up and say to you, oh no, it's one Nigeria, there is crime everywhere. Haven't you heard about Zamfara? Haven't you heard about Katsina? There is crime everywhere. That is not the case. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own action. They grouped them. Al-Qaeda in the Nigeria, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. Everybody brought them in. All the state government brought them in. Are you people deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show me. Somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where will the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to Sopi, you come to Onaji, you come to everybody, you come to Agulere, you come to Ebo, you take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building a way to Niger, and you want me to be happy with you. Clap for your Nigeria, one Nigeria. I think you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax, everything. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger, airport to Niger, refinery to Niger. You take oil, you put oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. And you're telling me that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. You are in one Nigeria, so you're not going anywhere and you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money so that they will come out, pages of the newspaper, to give the world the impression that everything is okay. When things go easy and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized. And then you come back to say Nigeria is one. You must stay in it. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, say Nigeria is not working. You're marginalized. You are being discriminated against. You are suffering. They are killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. I mean, Democrats have subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Nnamdi Kanu to President Biden. In it, Nnamdi said, come and help us fight terrorism in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the U.S. State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep plotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said it because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not people. When I say it, they say I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting you. Most of them are people. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we are born, where our umbilical cord, our long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa, during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, you let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Cotonou. Each and every one of you. And before we proceed, we are going to pray. As it is usual with us here on this platform, we pray because we are nothing without the Almighty. We are going to offer praise and adoration to Him as always. And I will, of course, should I say, unfailingly pray in the language of heaven. Some may misunderstand, some of them may try to misconstrue, but one thing is certain right now, in the presence of the Almighty God, Elohim, Adonai, El Shaddai in heaven, the angels are singing, worshiping, and praising the Most High with the very oldest language on the face of this very earth, the Igbo language. And that's how I'm going to pray. Ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ ime ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ onye anyị na-efe na-agọzi aha nsọ ya, onye ọbụla ya na-achị, onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-erubere isi, onye ọbụla ya bụ ọkaka. Ụbọchị ene ka anyị na-etuga eze ebube dị ngọzi, mmalite na ọgwụgwụ, ndị gboo wee tuo oge ebighị ebi. Onye nwe m, ụmụ gị wee gbakọọ n'ụwa niile iwe nara ozi ọma nke gị onwe gị n'ezi ha site n'ọnụ mmadụ dị ndụ nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-asị na onweghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị onwe anyị bụ n'ihi na ọ bụ anụkpa ahụ sọsọ ka mmadụ dị ndụ bụ. Ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ, maka na okwu nsọ gị na-adịrị ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. N'ihi na okwu gị niile ga-abịarịrị na mmezu. Ọbịa mere Biafra ga-eji wee bịa na mgbe nke anyị. Anyị wee na-akpọkụ wee na-arịọ gị na-asị, lekwa ude nke anyị na-asụ n'akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka o metụta gị n'obi. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe, biko dịka isi wee napụta ụmụ gị n'ọbụ n'Ijipt, kwetu wee wezuga ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra mgbe ekwensu bụ zuu nke mmadụ dị ndụ kere. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, na-asị gị n'ime ọnọdụ anyị na anyị ga-ekele ha nsọ gị, wee nye gị nsọpụrụ n'ụtọ na eji ama mgbe niile. N'ihi na anyị enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị, anyị nwe anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Ọbịa mere iji wee na-agọzi nzọmụkwụ anyị niile. Ọbịa mere IPOB ji wee gbaa mgbọrọgwụ n'ụwa niile. Anyị anaghị atụ egwu mmadụ dị ndụ. Anyị wee na-eto gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, sị gị biko gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye anyị na-efe nwaanyị akpụ isi ala nye ka i wee napụta ndị gị n'ọbụ nke ekwensu. Anyị wee na-enye gị ofe na nsọpụrụ na ija mma, na-asị lekwa ka ndị iro anyị niile ka kasị wee baa ha ọnụ, ha wee daa hapụghị ikuni ọzọ. Obodo ekwensu bụ zu ala nwekwa n'ihi eze ebube dị ngọzi. Anya ọnwa anyị bụ ụmụ gị wee na-akpọkọ ha nsọ gị, na-asị na enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-eto gị, na-asị onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onwe onye kere, na n'otuto niile na nsọpụrụ niile na ịja mma niile site n'ebighị ebi, mara ebighị ka a na-arịọ gị. Ise ise ise. Having handed over our proceedings to heaven, we must therefore proceed unfailingly and very speedily to preach this very gospel that we have been mandated to preach this very day. And God will destroy the black race. We shall remain slaves to the wise forever and ever. As long as we continue to reason this wickedly, it can never be well with black people, I tell you. We are evil. The man is blind in what? There is no compassion. No single compassion. Nobody is moved by the plight of this man. All you think about is Iran. You think about Shia. What nonsense? What planet are you living on? What planet are you living on? Blacks are to blame. Your so-called Nigerians are to blame for this very mess. So also is the American ambassador to Nigeria. So also is the British High Commissioner to Nigeria. These are the people supporting evil. When Obama came to remove Jonathan, I told you that Obama would remove Jonathan, and Jonathan was moved. Look at where we are today. People will come into my village with AK-47, rape my mother, slaughter us, and they give them land. Somebody is simply protesting, release my leader. Not that they're protesting against any court order or court ruling or judgment. They are asking you to obey what your court said. You refused. You responded by killing them. And you went back to the same court, the same Federal High Court of Nigeria, in the same Abuja, to go and obtain an order proscribing his group. The same law, the same judgment you said you will not obey. You are now going back to obey the one that suits you. And you're telling me that Nigeria is a nation, that Nigeria is a country? This COG, black people. Do you now begin to see the reason why God looked at us and said, you people are evil? Because of that, I'll make you slaves to whites. Do you see why we are suffering? Because your heart is evil. You don't reason properly. These are people who can, because Yoruba media wants 2023 for Tinubu to be president, they condone every evil. And if Yoruba nation does not take time, I tell you tonight that evil shall overcome Yoruba land. I say what I say with justification. I will read the coverage of Punch newspaper. Punch newspaper, Yoruba paper. You people are satanic. You are evil. The personification of the force of darkness. You people are evil. Evil. Evil is happening and you keep quiet. You cannot confront Fulani headsmen. Oh, I don't know why God brought me to Africa. I don't know why. I should have come as a tree in the forest. Maybe they cut me down and use me as for center table. I'll be useful at least. Do you see why God said you must be under Europeans? Asia is progressing. South America is progressing. The only place not growing in the world is Africa, because you people are evil. You support evil. Your heart is black as we are. Evil, darkness. You are in a country where your so-called president from Sudan decides which judge am I going to obey. I don't like this ruling, I want to obey it. I like this one, let me obey it. And you people are keeping quiet. You are quiet and evil is happening. And you're telling me you're educated. You're telling me you have conscience. And tomorrow you go to church. Oh, dear me. This assignment is too much. I tell Elohim it's too much for me. I cannot come from a continent where people cannot reason, where there is no conscience, where wickedness and evil is the order of the day. The black race is a disgrace to humanity. The black race is an eyesore on this very earth, I tell you that. It's an eyesore. Evil is happening and you're quiet. Because Zagzag is not your brother, not your sister. Do you know how people feel about your religion? Do you know how they feel about you and your religion? People will have the guts in America to complain about racist attacks. Oh, that the West are attacking with the racist. I wish they can kill all of us there. I'm telling you the truth. We don't deserve to be alive. Black people do not deserve to walk. We are a stain on the earth. Our wickedness stinks to high heavens and back. We are an evil race. Quote me, that's what I said. Mark the date of today. In any other country on this earth, what Jibril did, we will send him back to Sudan immediately. How can you decide which judge to obey? That idiot that didn't go to school. Malami is saying, if not for what I've been doing, detaining people without trial, there will be no Nigeria. Nigeria for whose benefit? For your benefit and for some Yoruba people. For the benefit of those that make billions from oil and gas from Biafran land. That's all. That some idiots are too blind to say it. They say I should speak like a head of state. Which stupid head of state is that? Which useless head of state is that? In a place where people cannot reason like human beings. You know my head of state. Oh dear Lord, have mercy. We are an evil race. Anytime you see another black person being killed in America, know that God is punishing you for what you have done because you're evil. Evil beyond evil, I'm telling you. And who brought this nonsense on us? It's not Obama. It's not a black man. Who brought this mess into this zoo? Is Obama. Isn't it? And they ran to the British to sustain what is unsustainable. Everybody knows that Buhari is dead. They know it. Everybody knows. Yoruba media knows. Everybody knows. But because you don't want Nnamdi Kanu to be proven right, you don't want IPOB to be proven right, you have decided to cover up evil. It will consume you. Yoruba media will suffer. Yoruba media will suffer. They will suffer and they will suffer for this injustice they keep on against ordinary people. Poor people. In your journey, my banquet, because you control newspaper. Your preachers are in Pentecostal churches. They tell the idiots what to do and they obey them. They cannot rise up from the pulpit and speak the truth. Because Zagzag is not a Christian, he's not a Pentecostalist. Let's leave him to die. You are evil. You are beyond evil. We are a useless race. Black race is a disgrace on humanity. White people can never allow such nonsense to happen. It doesn't. If everybody will die, they can't allow it to. That's the difference between black and whites. Whites cannot allow this nonsense to happen. It won't happen. Don't tell me about cases during slavery. It was our idiotic ignorance and wickedness that allowed God to hand us over to whites to enslave us. We are wicked. We are a wicked race. That is why we are suffering. I must continue because the truth must be spoken on this very platform. Your zoo constitution guarantees freedom of worship, freedom of speech. The right to even protest is there. They don't obey their own laws because they don't know. When you appoint a chief justice who is more or less how can I put it? Okay, myself like a native doctor. This is the nonsense you get. Now you're telling me in a country that claims it practices democracy that you can choose which of the judges to obey his or her ruling and which one to ignore. Is that what you're telling me? The same court you said I will not obey your order. You went back to the same court to go and obtain an order to keep somebody in prison in perpetuity and to ban his movement. Hey, we blacks have taken wickedness and impunity to a different level altogether. That is what we have done. We have redefined wickedness. I never believed in my life that Africa can be so, not just back, of course we're backwards. Who doesn't know we're backwards? We have added another layer of evil to it. No wonder Michael Jackson was bleaching himself to be white. I do apologize to Michael. I have now seen what he saw. Michael Jackson was trying to make himself white because he looked at us and knew that we are evil. This UG, evil upon evil. You claim you're fighting corruption. All those you are appointed are corrupt individuals. Buhari, before he died, they got into power on the back of corrupt money, River State money stolen by MH. Today, Buhari's son is the fourth richest person in Africa. And they're fighting corruption. You people are useless. Hopeless to the core. Quote me right is what I said. You're hopeless. Shia group IN, the Islamic IMN, Islamic Movement of Nigeria, or for Nigeria, I don't know what they call them, is not a terrorist group. It is not and can never be. For all that nonsense, people saying that tied to Iran and all that rubbish, that is bunkum. El Zagzagi, what crime did he commit? We shall get to that later. There is no other place on this earth that a religious body has ever been prescribed. Never. Not on this earth. All this nonsense with Shia and the Sunni Islam is their business. Nothing to do with the secular constitution. So when Jubril and when Abba Kyari and El Rufai crosses up to Saudi Arabia, don't you see it? When Obama was bowing before the king of Saudi Arabia, did you not see it? Did not see it. I'm sure you didn't. You people are cowards. There is no place on this earth, not even in Saudi Arabia, can you ban? Do you know they have Shia in Saudi Arabia? Have they been banned? How can you go and take a leader of a movement and expect them to keep quiet, like other people are keeping quiet? That's what you expect. You bring your wickedness and injustice upon the people and you expect them to just sit down and take it. The answer is no. Like IPOB, we won't take it. We will keep on agitating until we are free. Because one day everybody will die, isn't it? Nobody lives forever. Nobody does. So Biafran must come. The blame for what is happening, I don't call it zagzaggy. The blame for the injustice in the zoo that the British created is caused by 3 groups of people. Only 3. Our stupidity as black people. The British High Commission and the British Mission in Nigeria is satanic. Another one is the American ambassador to Nigeria. They collect money from Nigerian government not to send the accurate report back to their home countries. I bet you that the State Department in America does not know what is happening in the zoo because they embellish it. Is farmer header crisis, is a clash. The police and the army came shooting dead Shia protesters. And you call it a clash between the two. A whole ambassador, American ambassador, is sending back, feeding the State Department in Washington lies about Nigeria. Because he's a millionaire. The same thing with the British. This is the level of evil and wickedness we have. American embassy in Nigeria, British High Commission in Nigeria, and the stupidity of black people. We are black and we are useless. Those are the 3 factors holding you down as a perpetual slave. I didn't say it's the American official policy or the British official policy. No. I said their missions in Nigeria. The American ambassador is corrupt. The British High Commissioner is more than corrupt. Nigeria, they should be probed. Nigeria gives them money to lie and to falsify their mission reports back to their home countries. If you ask them now, they will write. When you ask them, what are you doing about El Zagzagi? No, I think we sense some trouble. There may be a link with Iran. There may be a link. All lies. All lies. The U.S. Embassy takes the blame. The mission and the stupidity of us black people, black Africans, we are useless. Stop pretending we are more than hopeless. Forget all the degrees, PhD, SSG, rubbish. We are useless. Useless. As black people, our natural disposition towards evil, we love evil. This type of nonsense cannot happen in a white man's. It's impossible. You can't try that rubbish. I'm the prime minister, or as Trump is, you choose which laws to obey, which one. They will come to White House and control you out. They said they will bundle you, they will put handcuffs on your ankles and your wrist. In your next life, you won't mess up. You won't mess with the people. That's how it's done. Do you see how advanced whites are compared to you blacks? Because, when you go to the court sometimes, some of you see the picture of a woman or statue. The woman is blind with a blindfold, with the scale on one hand and sword on the other hand. Some of you go to law school, you don't know what that thing means. They just say, they say law is blind. And look at the idiots. Do you know why they say it's blind? Because justice is blind. It doesn't matter who is affected. It doesn't matter if it's a share or IPOB or whoever. It doesn't matter. The law is the law. So when somebody who is a Sunni Muslim gets favorable ruling in the court, they release them. Those doing the killing in the zoo, they are all Sunni, Wahhabi, fundamentalists. It's okay. Give them more land. Why don't you dialogue with them? But once it's Shia. Oh, IPOB, why didn't you go and kill them? After all, the American ambassador will say it's nothing. And that's what they do. Do you know before they came to invade my house that the British government was informed? And they came to go ahead to come and kill me? Are you aware of that? So I'm telling you live on air. Are you aware that the British government, the British High Commission in Nigeria, sanctioned my assassination? Are you aware of that? In time, all will be revealed. Our natural disposition towards evil and wickedness is why a Sudanese can do whatever he likes. Jubilee Sudan. Everybody knows he's from Sudan. Look at him and look at the Buhari, and you will know. But your stupidity and your natural cowardice. You're a black person, you cannot reason. This Yoji, black and useless. Black and useless. We are black and we are useless to the core. If you support evil, anything I say about you, you should accept it with good grace. I'm telling you. How did it all begin? Some of you may ask this evening. How did we come to this stage of rejecting one judgment but accepting another from the same court, depending on the judge who is ruling in your favor? 7 out of 8 children of Zagzagi has been murdered by Nigerian state. And you're telling me he doesn't have the right to be angry? But you won't see anything wrong with it because you're black. Anytime you go on social media, you see somebody not making any sense, that person is probably a black person. I come to my dear friend and brother, I'm borrowing what he wrote, because it's correct. Fanika Yode, I'm borrowing what he wrote. You shot his wife in the stomach. The wife was shot 4 times. And has been in detention till now. Not just like that, even the wife is also in detention. This man was shot and blinded in one eye. Zagzagi. It doesn't touch you because you're black. As a black person, your heart is cold. Cold and blind to light. Because you're black from Africa. You are evil. You don't empathize. There is no empathy. You don't see, all you care about is, who is winning? So since the Fulanis are now killing everybody and they're on top, let me support Fulani. You have no soul and you have no conscience. That is why God placed you. I'm asking God, but what did I do? Why take me to Africa? I'm still thinking and asking God, what did I do? Because I am better off as something that could be useful to humanity. We black are useful to mankind. We are a waste of space. We are clogging up space.
for mankind. I'm telling you the truth. We are useless. You did all this to this man, and you think you will succeed. What is the crime of Sheikh El Zagzagi? You bring out, he had the same thing you did when I formed BSS. He said, oh, can you see them? Can you see them? But you cannot see Fulani headsmen. You can't see them. They're the ones killing you and raping you every day, but you never learn because you're black and you're timid. I'm so upset tonight. I wouldn't normally do a program like this, but I am enraged. Enraged. Africa is a disgrace. Trump was thinking about, said he was going to, what he said was he was going to deport people from America. He should start very, very quickly.
Fortunate enough to have encountered Nigeria, at least from 1970. Let's say from 1966, as a matter of fact. She was very angry. My anger wasn't generated spontaneously. It's something that came over many years and many decades of brutal oppression and repression of our people.
Ụmụnne m ekelekwa m unu nke onye chikwa ya zelo ama m nọ n'ọfụma mụnwa adị m okay. So now particular broadcast from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I've been looking for that since. Lucky enough, I entered my TikTok account. When I hear the person him, tell me what you think in the comment section. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is
on the 14th of September of 2017 is nothing new. It's something we become accustomed to. The military coming to villages and doing whatever they like. Because in their eyes, we are the conquered people. And when you're the conquered people, you have only one avenue, which is to fight. And in most instances, the only fuel that you need is the rage and anger you feel against them, against the injustice and the system of oppression which they have come to create. Mine is a more righteous indignation. I'm not happy about the level of repression, the level of mediocrity, the level of poverty, the level of hopelessness, and also backwardness, not just in Nigeria, but across the entire sub-Saharan Africa. And it gives me a cause for concern because some of the universities that the leaders of the civilized world attended were in Canada today. Most of the universities that they went to, some of the second leaders went to the same schools as well. So I'm going to wonder, when they taught the same subjects or the same discipline, why must things be different? Why must we be so backward in Africa? Why don't we have any pride, no shame, nothing? So the source of my anger is quite numerous. It's not just one. The silver bullet for me is Biafra. The emancipation of the people of Biafra will put to bed most of these rather negative things that we want to associate with black people. So I'm it's way deeper than what I see. The fact that we are the lowest people in the world by virtue of every human measurement or indices, we are the lowest of the world. The best ones of the world in Africa. The most repressive, backward regimes in the world in Africa. The most politically naive people are in Africa. That's giving me a cause for concern. The defense of Nigeria wouldn't sound quite right. I think that most people that refer to that video or that trial regarding in London, which I organized, quoted me out of context. I organized the protest in London that encompassed everybody who claims he or she is a Nigerian to campaign against or to speak out against what's Boko Haram was doing, against the imperialist following politics. Most people came because they felt that they said they were Nigerians and they wanted to come to a part of it. I consulted far and wide, and I spoke on every occasion as well. It wasn't intended to convey any sense of, patriotism on my part towards Nigeria at all. We were reacting to a series of events that shouldn't have happened in the first place. In this instance, what the Boko Haram people were doing to innocent people, especially the Igbos or the massacre. So I got to it. And also, it served a very useful purpose. Engage the sincerity of Nigerians towards fighting what was obviously immense and evil. I understand what I discovered that the country was intolerable. campaign for equity and justice. Nigeria says if you take that's ignoring things about your own people who give fuck aware doing things rather than trying to say they.
And I said before I speak to them, I also give my conditions, which I know they couldn't meet. It's not possible for them to meet it. And I did it deliberately. I didn't want to speak to them. They sent Joseph Okaro to come to me. First to my parents. My father said no. My mother said no. That where I stand is where they stand, in life or in death. And they came to prison. I was even from DSS dungeon. The promises came. The vice president, anything you want. If you have a very beautiful wife, you better go and enjoy her than being in prison.
Wow.
Anything you want. And I said no. That what I want is a referendum to determine if you good people want to be part of the zoo or part of Nigeria or part of Biafra. Choose one, zoo or Biafra. They said no. And Sibaja tried to make contact. When I came out, I don't know if I've told this story before actually. And Ohaneze hijacked it. I went to see Nia Wode in his house. We sat down, had lunch together. And I told him what my conditions were to lift the boycott in Anambra State, which they couldn't meet. And I said to Wode very simply, go to Abuja and tell these people that these are what our people are asking for. I said to him, go and bring us something. Not for me, for everybody. He went there and started negotiating for a ministerial position for one of the children. I'm telling you, one of them is fact, ask him. Somebody asked him, but you people are being called to Asorok because of Nnamdi Kanu. Why didn't you tell him that you're going to Asorok? He said it is for Igbo leaders. And once the powers that be knew that he hadn't IPOB support, they just gave them 5 million naira for transport and dismissed them. Hadn't Nyawodo remained with me, when the governors called me, I told them the same thing in front of Professor Ben Wabeze. They said, oh, but Nwodo, Soludo, Ebremad is upstairs. Do I want them to come? I said, no. Government House Enugu. The former DSS director came with his bags of money in euros, in white sacks to bribe. Ask anybody working in Government House in Enugu. I said, no, I don't want to see them. Not because I want to be the only cock crowing, no. Because of consistency. Can you last? When you're tempted, are you going to succumb? Can you sustain this very effort we're making? So they have come. And I gave them my conditions which they can never meet. Open Warri Seaport, open Iguacha Seaport, open Calabar Seaport. Make Enugu an international airport where we can fly to US and come in at will. Build Iguacha Enugu, Onitsha Enugu Express Road. Complete second Niger Bridge. Are these things difficult?
No.
As I'm telling you this, go and ask them in Asorok if your friends there. They have the piece of paper I gave to them. They ran away. Because some Igbo men were busy gossiping, saying if you allow him, when he finishes fighting Nigeria, he will come here and fight us and kill all of us. That's what they said. And you know one other thing they said? They told every Igbo billionaire around the world that nobody should give me one dime. Ask them that if you give Nnamdi Kanu money, he will go and buy weapons. That nobody should give me anything. I'm going behind Agabiga. You won't believe it. That we are here by the grace of Elohim, not by any of our strength, to be honest with you. Any day we are serious, the world will know. How do you want Canada to regard the Biafra referendum or even USA? The people that the ambassador knows are the governors or maybe Hanese. Did you people not hear that British government went to Biafra land when I was in prison? Oh my goodness. The British High Commissioner was touring everywhere. When they wanted to kill me, went to Obi of Onitsha and asked him, what do we do to Nnamdi Kanu? That one said you can kill him if you want. They went to Atusia. Atusia told them you can never touch him. If you touch him, this person will burn. How many times has the US government been to Enugu? They go to Ohaneze. I don't want to say it. They went to Ohaneze and the governor. They asked them, what do you want? Oh, leave those rascals, leave them. Miscreants. We want restructuring. What they're asking for is untenable. But the same man said if there is no restructuring, they'll join IPOB to do Biafra, isn't it? That's right. Did he complete what he said? No. Is he doing what he said he's going to do? No. And you want me to work with these people? It's not going to work. I say, everything I do, I say it in the open. Not gossip. And those that spoke to Uche, I am going to Chicago to broadcast live to the whole world and tell them they're in trouble. I've told them every time they contributed to IPOB will be announced for the world to hear. Tell them there'll be no hiding place for gossipers, in as much as I'm concerned, because I know what I've committed to this very movement. Not that I'll become Biafra president. No. So that I can take Nnamdi and Nnamdi back to the land of his ancestors. To that same land that Chukwu Kabiyama said, you people must be here. And then my wife, Mariano. I'm fighting for Biafra that we may be free. Thank you.
The killing of innocent protesters. 2016, Mpo massacre. 2017, the invasion of my house. Operation Python Dance 2 or 3 or 4, I don't know. I lost 28 men. My mom, my dad are both dead as a result of Southeast governors, what they did. I'm asking them. So when you want to sit down to talk about insecurity, please start from the beginning. The same people meeting today to try and discuss insecurity were the ones who caused it. They caused it, not us. And we must all now live with the consequences. Those who want to destroy this country have shock coming their way, says President. Now, this is what the presidency, which is the Fulani cabal, what they have put together. Can I actually remind the governors and all these idiots in Nigeria writing rubbish every day? You can't kill people's children and expect their brothers not to react. It's stupid. It is called vengeance. There'll be vengeance, of course. So you're wearing army uniform, you're killing people, and you think every army officer will be safe. As long as you're going about killing innocent people, you are putting every army person on uniform at risk. The same goes for the police. All those years, you people were not going about slaughtering people. Was there any reaction? You people are the cause. You people, you come out, NSAS protests, you are there killing people. And you think that their brothers or their cousins will not avenge their death. You're joking. You are dreaming. You can write all your fanciful epistle about one Nigeria, insecurity, all that rubbish. From now till that kingdom come, it will not make any difference to us. No difference whatsoever. If you kill somebody, you're going to die. Be rest assured. God punish.
You own businesses everywhere in Nigeria. For that reason, you want everybody to die. Nobody is above death. Death is going to visit everybody. Just have to pray that you live and make impact in this life. The impact that matters now, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is not the impact to make people millionaires. It is impact to make people to be alive. It is impact to make people to feel secure. It is impact to make people feel they are free. That is the biggest impact you can make. Millions are going to come. People will become millionaires when they are alive. Of what use is it? You make somebody millionaire today and tomorrow he died by gunshot from Fulani. Of what use will it be to the society? You pick up somebody and send him abroad and he come back to Nigeria and police will kill him. It is happening every day. Why do you want to continue to be part of a country like that? Why?
The very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program. I welcome everyone that has connected wherever you're connecting from. Please like and share the program. Share to anyone you can reach. We have to conduct our program, but today is going to be very brief. I will make it very brief because of the way the attack in the platform is becoming so much. The attack today is too much, maybe because of the topic I choose or whatever, I don't know why. The attack is so much that after almost 1 hour, you cannot, the program cannot be visible to up to 10 people. So it is not a good thing. We have to rectify the attack where it is coming from. The attack is coming, they are blocking and shadow banning our content. So we have to do what we have to do. So wherever you are watching from, like and share. If you are able to see the program, like and share so that other people can get the information and also join us. So I appreciate everybody that have joined, regardless the situation. We must continue to do our own part and do the little things we can. So wherever you are watching the program from, I urge you to like and share to other people so that they can join. They can see the program and join us on this very program. As I always say, remember that in this platform, we don't come here to instigate violence. We do not come here to preach hate. All we do here is to present the case of Biafra before the whole world, call the attention of the international community and people that matters to do the needful. That is what we do. We present Biafra to the world as the remedy to the situation in Nigeria, and that we will continue to do, whether they like it or not. No matter the attack, we will continue to do our own part. The little things we can do, we will do it and let the world hear. So today's topic, we choose a topic which says Global Alert, Urgent International Community, Urgent. Say Global Alert, Urgent International Community must act now to stop Nigeria's dangerous game. Global Alert, Urgent International Community must act now to stop Nigeria's dangerous game. This topic was chosen because of the trending video that we have seen, trending information that we have seen that has every single thing to do with us. Not just because it's trending, but because that news is a security risk to the Biafran people. It's also a security risk, more especially to our Supreme Leader Nnamdi Kanu. Talking about the procurement of a deadly substance by the NSA of Nigeria. National Security Advisor of Nigeria, that we know is a Fulani man, a Janjaweed, a terrorist, has been able to acquire a chemical substance that can take away somebody's life without being noticed. And a fellow terrorist revealed that today, that is the talk in their news. That has been a competition and a battle with them. And for us, anything that comes out of the zoo is a lesson for us. Whatever comes out is for us to mind what we do and be more careful and be security conscious. So that is why I'm here to encourage the Biafrans to be more security conscious than they've ever been. More especially in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. We are calling on anybody that is close to Nnamdi Kanu, those who are around him, taking care of him in the prison, they should be very careful. They should be very careful. They should be much more careful than they have ever been. Because of this procurement of that substance, we don't know where they're going to use it. We don't know who they're going to use it for. We know that these people are not ready to fight the bandits. So it's definitely not going to be for bandits. They are not ready to fight the terrorists. So definitely it is not for the terrorists. So who are they going to use that very chemical for? And for the fact that our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is in their net, it worries every one of us. It has to worry you. And that is why we are calling the attention of the international community to pay close attention, to pay close attention to the dangerous game that Nigeria is playing. I have said several times that the United States, the more they waste time on their action, the more they are giving the terrorists time to apply other methods and they regroup. That is what we are seeing today. The terrorist network is very large. Nigerian government is established that terrorist network that involved every aspect of Nigerian government. They are part of it. So that is why we are very concerned with this news that broke of the procurement of a dangerous substance by the National Security Advisor of Nigeria. He called for concern. If you are not concerned, you better be, because a lot is going to happen. So I welcome everybody that have connected to the program. Say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greetings according to your time zone where we are joining. Great people of conscience across the world. This is not just a broadcast to entertain you, as I always say. It is not just like any other broadcast. It is a very important information that we must spread. It is very important. That is why I am worried the way the platform has been attacked this morning to limit this information from reaching people it's supposed to reach. So I pray that those of us who are able to connect should help and share this program so that others will get the information. The program we are doing this morning is not politics as usual. It is about humanity. What we are doing this morning is about humanity. Nigeria stands at a dangerous and defining moment in history. There are serious allegations circulating about the procurement of hazardous chemical material by state security authorities. Many of you have seen it in the news, and you must be worried. While fact must always be verified and transparency demanded, what is deeply troubling in the silence, the lack of open accountability, and the pattern of secrecy that continues to surround critical national security decisions. This is why we are worried. If you are not worried, you better be worried now. Because we cannot continue to pretend all is well when there are troubles everywhere, right, left, and center. The atrocity committed against the Biafrans must not be allowed to be swept under the carpet. And you must have to open your eyes and speak more at this particular point in time with the procurement of this very hazardous substance. We don't know where they're going to use it or who they're going to use it on. We must be very careful. When government acts in secrecy around dangerous materials, the world has a responsibility to ask questions. So we are calling on international communities, on those that matters, more especially the United States that is down on the ground in Nigeria, to please look into that dangerous material and monitor where and how they are going to use it. They should monitor and ask questions. What do they want to use it for? Where are they going to use it? This is the question that everyone is asking today. More especially we, the Biafrans, we are much concerned because we know that the Nigerian government is bent on destroying the Biafran people. They have continued to commit their genocide using their terrorist military and other means. So when we hear about the procurement of dangerous substance, Biafrans need to be worried. The United Nations should take note. The United States of America should take note. Very, very important. Because when transparency dies, suspicion rises. And when suspicion rises, instability follows. We are ringing the bell for everybody to listen. This is why we ask, is Nigeria drifting toward a crisis that could have regional or global consequence? And should the international community demand daily clarity before it's too late? The international community should demand clarity before it is too late. Wherever you are joining the program, I urge you to stay with us. Share this live stream in any way you can so that people can get in and know what is going on. Nigerian political structure did not begin organically. It was a colonial creation engineered under British rule to serve imperial convenience rather than indigenous harmony. I say it over and over again that Nigeria was not created for the indigenous people. Nigeria was put in place for the interests of the West, for control, for economic interests of the West. The amalgamation of 1940 forced diverse nations, culture, and value system into one artificial state. Don't you ever forget that. And that is why we are calling for that entity to end, so that the indigenous people can create a nation that suits them and run it the way they want. The colonial framework prioritized control over cohesion. And decades later, the fragile foundation continued to crack. Since independence, Nigeria has struggled with cycle of military and civilian instabilities, ethno-religious tension, regional distrust, weak institutional accountability. These fractures are not accidental, they are structural, put in place by the British. And when the structure is weak at the foundation, pressure only makes it collapse more likely. This is why when we talk about the end to Nigeria and the collapse of Nigeria, we will call Nigeria a failed state. There are reasons why we point at that, confirm it, and it is clear to the whole world, to those who are sincere to themselves, that the contraction called Nigeria has ended long time ago. The current allegation against the National Security Advisor is something that must be taken serious. And transparency matters a lot. Now let us be responsible and clear. Allegation regarding the procurement of dangerous chemical by security agencies must be investigated thoroughly, independently, and transparently. This is what we are calling for. It will not be investigated by Nigeria, international body, more especially the United States, or the should lead the investigation to find out what the Nigerian government want to do with a chemical weapon. What do they want to do with such a dangerous chemical that could take innocent life without notice? You know, Chukwu Okike is doing a great work for us. If this revelation was not made by a fellow terrorist, we will not understand, we will not know. That is why I have always said that every single thing you hear from these people, either El-Rufai or his friend, these are two groups that are doing the same thing. Two different individuals with the same agenda, the same attitude. We must not ignore that. We must not ignore that. We must be very careful. Allegation regarding procurement of dangerous chemical by security agencies is not something you throw away. It's not something you ignore. It's not something you see as normal. In a terrorist country that we know the agenda they have, it calls for worry. And that is why we are calling international community, United States more especially, to weigh in. Remember, our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is in their net, in Sokoto, in the headquarters of these criminals that are fighting each other. That is where Nnamdi Kanu is. So we want United States to weigh in and find out what do they want to do with that chemical that they procure. Follow up and monitor how they want to use it. On whom do they want to use it? I want to remind you that we are not here. I am not here to spread panic. I'm here to demand accountability. And that is what every Biafran is demanding. We are demanding accountability. It's not to spread panic. They must account how, where, and when they want to use that. If materials capable of large-scale harm are being acquired, citizens have a right to know. When you acquire such kind of a chemical that can be used to commit large-scale harm against people, to commit genocide, the citizens have the right to know what they are for. Why are you buying them? Under what legal framework did you buy them? With what oversight did you buy them? And with what safety guarantee did you bring that into the country? These are questions that must be answered in the open. In democratic society, national security does not mean total secrecy without oversight. That is not what it means. International norm exists for a reason. International norm exists for a reason. The world has seen what happened when dangerous material fall into the wrong hand or are misused. Silence is not stability. Transparency is stability. That is why we are shouting today, and we will never be silent. Let's have a quick break and we'll come back.
Them say Tinubu don't follow for God now. Tinubu don't follow for God now. They want to take it, that's the chop off our head. Senate House fall and the criminals, country military fall and the terrorists, injustice, Omotosha forget law for inside court. Changaro Republic at the government. Abubakar Malami don't fall for God now. Him and EFCC put leg for shit. Them say Sheikh Kukumi don't fall for God now. Cause Donald Trump don't come to Machamo. He go matching Boko boys, matching terrorists. As the government knows a big way for kidnapping to stop. I make it don't fall for God now. They make Nigerians see one die for suffer.
Sorry, I kept you waiting. So, as we are saying, what is happening today is not something that must be swept under the carpet. We must pay attention and questions must be asked. That is why we are asking questions. What we are discussing about is a chemical that is capable of taking large number of lives without notice, without any trace. It is Chukwu Okike Abiyama that made them to make that revelation, and we will not be silent. We will continue to shout on our various platforms. That is what, when you join this program, share it, share the program so that others can hear what is going on. In all your platforms, share it until the international community weighs in. We want to know. We want to know what they want to use that chemical for. We want to know. That is why international norm exists. The world has seen what happens when dangerous materials fall into the wrong hand. We have seen it in several places. We saw what happened in Libya. We saw the case of Iran. We see so many other places. Silence is not stability. The world must not be silenced. With this revelation that came from the terrorists, those that are sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria, El-Rufai and his friend, Nuhu Ribadu, the NSA, these are people that have been fingered out in the support of terrorism in Nigeria. For this kind of substance to be in their hand, it is dangerous. And every well-meaning person must be concerned. We want to know who they want to use it for. We are much concerned because of our Supreme Nnamdi Kanu, who is in their net. This is equally a time, a political season. It is very dangerous. And we want an oversight. We want an oversight in what is going on in the Zoological Republic. International intervention does not always mean military action. I have said it time and time again. It can mean diplomatic engagement. It can mean monitoring what is happening. Investigations. Pressure for compliance with international conventions. That is what is needed in Nigeria today. Because we know it is necessary. The global community intervene when there are risks to civilian population. When there are risks to civilian population, the international community, the global community intervene. This news is a risk to more especially the Biafran people. The procurement of this chemical by a national security advisor of Nigeria that have fingered in terrorism in Nigeria with his brother El-Rufai, that is a risk to civilian population. So global community intervention is seriously needed. It's needed. You can't escape it. There are credible threats to regional peace. That very substance you see is a threat. It is. Humanitarian concern. There is humanitarian concern because in a lawless country like Nigeria, a tyrannic government like the one we have today, government controlled by tyrants, they do not deserve to have such chemical in their possession. They are not supposed to have it in their possession. Anybody can be a victim. Anybody can be a victim. And we are mostly worried now that our supreme leader is in their net. At this time that they are after the Biafran people, they are after the Liberation Army, they are looking for Biafrans here and there. This calls for concern. It calls for concern. They need to be monitored closely. Nigeria is not isolated. It is Africa's most populous nation. Instability there affects West Africa, the continent, and the global market. The world must pay attention. The call here is simple. International transparency mechanism must be activated if necessary to ensure civilian safety in Nigeria. This is why everybody must go on their platform and begin to shout about this, talk about it, share it to everywhere you can. International transparency mechanism must be activated if necessary to ensure civilian safety. Because prevention is better than catastrophe. We know that United Nations is always late. Don't wait until they use it before you act. The world must not wait for them to use that chemical before they act. Now that the information is out there, they should be followed and watched closely. This is why we are asking for separation for this entity. Many voices have argued that Nigeria's internal contradiction may require deeper structural solution, which is what we have provided. One of those voices is Nnamdi Kanu, who has consistently advocated for the self-determination of the Biafran people. That is the only crime he committed that they are detaining him today. The principle of self-determination is recognized in international law. Don't forget that. The question being raised is not about violence. It is about whether dividing along compatible value system could reduce conflict rather than sustain it. Absolutely, it will. And that is why we are profiling that. That is why we are asking the international community to weigh in. Let countries be created along value system. Across the world, history shows that forced union without shared governance principle often generates instability. And that is the case of Nigeria today. Forced union without shared governance principles often generates instability. That is what you see in Nigeria today. Peaceful referendum, negotiated settlements, and constitutional restructuring have been used in various parts of the world to prevent prolonged crisis. What are you waiting for in the case of Nigeria? What is the world waiting for? How many millions of people do you want to die before you can look into the self-determination of the Biafran people? We are not asking for something extraordinary or something strange. It is something that will save human life. Have been applied in so many places. Why are you waiting? How many people more do you need to die before you look into the case of Nigeria? The conversation must be allowed. The conversation of disintegration of Nigeria must be allowed. And dialogue must not be criminalized. Self-determination discussion must not be silenced. It must not be silenced. Because suppression breeds radicalization. But dialogue creates solution. We have been on this path for too long. We have been on this path for too long. And I bet you Nigeria will never survive this. I want us to understand that there is something that matters most. What matters most in every single thing we are saying is human life. The reason we are crying and shouting every day on various platforms, human life. If governance decision, secret or public, creates fear, distrust, and instability, the greatest victim are always ordinary citizens. Children, families, community. They are the greatest victims. That is why we will not stop talking. We will continue to call the attention of the international community to do what they have to do before it is too late. The world has a normal responsibility to ensure that no state actor anywhere places civilian population at risk. That is the responsibility of the world at large, the international community. And that is what the United States also should pay attention to. The United States of America in Nigeria today has the moral responsibility to ensure that no state actor anywhere places civilians population at risk. What Nigeria is doing today is placing the civilian population at risk, more especially the Biafran people. The procurement of that dangerous substance is placing us at risk. We are not part of their government and we're not speaking as anti-government, no. We are pre-humanity. pro-humanity. Everything we are saying here is about humanity, to save human life. That's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with the Nigerian government. We are not part of them, we are not part of them, so we don't care whatever they do. But when it comes to humanity, anywhere we are concerned and we speak out. Demanding oversight is not rebellion. It is responsible citizenship. That's what it is. And we will continue to demand every time, any day. We will never give up. I call on international human rights organizations, regional African institutions, diplomatic missions, civil society leaders. Every one of you should demand clarity, demand lawful transparency, demand adherence to international standards. With this very procurement that Nigeria did, with that dangerous substance, you must pay attention. We are not calling for chaos. We are calling for accountability. If there is nothing to hide, transparency will only strengthen trust. If there's nothing to hide, they should tell us how they want to use that chemical, who they brought it for what purpose, where, and where did they keep it. Those information need to be public. We need to know. Transparency saves life. Let the world know the people are watching. Let the world know that people are watching. We cannot be silent. Share this program to everyone that you can. Share the stream. If you know any journalist, tag the journalist. Any human rights organization, tag them. History is shaped by those who refuse to stay silent. If we stay silent, it is going to be worse than it is today. So every one of us must continue to speak. However we can, whenever we can. Nigeria is at crossroads. The path forward can be transparency or secrecy, dialogue or suppression, reform or rupture. The international community must not wait for disaster headline before acting. That has been their system. They wait for the disaster to act, but they must not wait. We have lost enough of life. Prevention is leadership. Silence is complicity. Let this broadcast serve as part of the call for peace, accountability, and dignity. Because in the end, this is not about politics. It's about humanity. It's about humanity. There are certain things we must not keep silence to. There are certain information that when we see, we must speak and speak loudly. I pray that Chukwu Okike will give us the wisdom, the knowledge to face what is ahead, overcome, and win the battle. Because this is not business as usual. If you saw that news and you're not, every responsible and reasonable human being that sees that information must be worried. And that's why we are worried. We are worried mostly because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our supreme leader, who is in their nets. We are worried because we know what the Janjaweed can do. We are worried because we know that these people are unrepentant souls. And we will continue to speak and call on the international community to take action. Let us round up with the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and hear him more as we go.
They said their president have written. But of course, we know it is Garba Shehu and El Rufai and Femi Adesina who are writing. You stupid animals called Nigerians. A speech of this. Why can't the government condemn them? Why not? Answer that question. But they are busy talking about agitation. You want to divide. And I want to do something I asked the governors now. I want to ask the Fulani presidency of Nigeria. My dear Fulani Janjaweed, who brought insecurity into Nigeria? A simple question. Which people own the fourth most deadliest terror group in the world? Is it not your so-called headsman Miet Yala? Fulani, who started the bombing of churches in Nigeria? Is it not you people? You are now turning around with the help of the chameleonic Yoruba media to twist the narrative. The same thing I asked the Southeastern governors. Southeastern governors who brought Operation Python Dance. Before you brought it, did you hear of any violent agitation anywhere? Why people fail to ask these questions, I don't understand. You are in a country you claim is the most populous, the biggest. I'm asking you, why is it that the government do not want to condemn the terrorist activities of ISIS in West Africa? Some of you were there writing. Our general, chief of defense, what's his name again? Atahiru, that idiot. Atahiru, Ibrahim Atahiru. He did very well. He eliminated the Shekau with the help of ISIS. Oh, Nigeria army is now working with ISIS. Now the next question is, what does ISIS stand to gain from Nigerian army? All of you Yoruba journalists, you're there writing junk every blessed day. You cannot reason. You can't reason. Oh, anyway, you're black. How can I expect you to reason in this UG? The same question I asked the governors who are meeting today. Umahi, Ugwani, Obiano, Ibazu, and that time it was Rocha, so Aboga was. Who brought insecurity into the East? Who brought the army to start killing innocent young people? Simple question. The same question goes to Yoruba journalists tonight, those evil people and Fulani Caliphate. Fulani, let me ask you, who brought insecurity into Nigeria? Fulani, who were the first people to bear arms openly in Nigeria as civilians? Is it not you people claiming you're Fulani cattle headsmen with AK-47? Please, somebody should go and get me that video I shot at Amansia very, very many years ago. I think it was 2014 or so. Go and get it and show them. You people were the first to carry AK-47. So Fulani can carry AK-47, but not Eastern Security Network. Protecting the people. I want we black people to engage our brain for once. I know we are idiotic. I know we are animalistic in our disposition, but I want us to reason for once in our lives. Reason, stupid black people, reason for once. Who brought insecurity to Nigeria? The same people that brought insecurity into Nigeria are today lecturing us about insecurity. Asorok, what has been happening in North over these years? Is there anybody left in Zamfara, in Yobe, in Borno? You abandoned all these hot spots of Fulani terrorism. You are interested in the East. You see the stand warning. Let me tell you something, Fulani, you underestimate us. You don't know that we went to school. I didn't go to school in the zoo, you know. I went to UNN, I went to Soka. They were talking rubbish every blessed day, and I left the useless place. I went to London to study. You don't know we're educated. You have no bloody idea. Now, let me tell you something, Asorok. That thing you're looking for, you're going to get it. We are going to have another war. Another Nigeria-Biafra war is going to happen. In fact, it started already anyway. But let me tell you something that you don't understand. This war will escalate to the point whereby the world will want to see you. They want you to address the world as to what is happening. That day, that mask you're wearing, I'm talking to Yusuf Abubakar Mohammed from Nigeria Republic wearing Buhari mask. That mask you're wearing will melt on your face during the meeting. Because now the world will summon you to, you'll be summoned to attend. That your mask will melt on your face. Then the zoo will be in trouble. You don't know there's a method of madness. I told you. Some of you right now cannot go back to your villages. It's been taken over by bandits. You did not see the video of the young man lamenting in Zamfara. You have not done anything. A government that is working with ISIS, Islamic State, is lecturing us about insecurity in the East. You people should come. Come now. You have killed 8 no more here today. Maybe tomorrow or next, 16 of you will die. It's simple now. You write your rubbish, you call your lament, you send more soldiers, you bring them, and they will die. You bring more, and they will die. God punish all of you. You want to be clever. Like Southeast governors, they want to be clever. Insecurity. Who brought Operation Python dance? I'm asking them. Who fired the first shot? I'm asking them. Who brought the army to start killing people? I'm asking them. Now the people are saying enough is enough. You are talking insecurity everywhere. Insecurity everywhere. INEC said, it doesn't matter. We conduct election. Come and conduct and let us see. In Anambra, November. I'm laughing in Greek. In Anambra election. You think we're going to beg people, oh, stay at home, don't come out. No. There'll be no election in Anambra in November. Instead, heaven will fall. There'll be none. Watch and see. Watch and see. We'll put on video. I ain't about cinema. We'll put on cinema for you. You'll be watching in November. Come and do election and let us see. Maybe Obiano should prepare to stay in office longer, or they should appoint somebody else because there's been an election in Anambra State. So you can bring another hope of them into Anambra. People are joking. The same people bombing, killing, raping, and sacking villages are telling me about insecurity. Is it not the same Asorok that said, the same Femi Adesina writing rubbish, telling you, you either give your land for Ruga or your life will go? Are you not the same people? Are you not the same people? You are now trying to tell us about insecurity because people are fighting back. That's all. You bring your army and police as the advance guard. Right now, as I speak, the Fulani hit squad in Abia State is inside Obinze military barracks. Obinze. They are there. That's where they are camped. Every Fulani attacking every village, both in Yoruba land, they quarter them very close to a Fulani-controlled military barracks. That's what they do. All of you, I want Nigeria, our country. We need unity. That's rubbish. No wonder white people are racist towards black people and no other race. Because I have discovered what they found out a long time ago, that black people are foolish. They can't reason very well. Somebody who told you that if he loses elections, the monkeys and baboons will be soaked in blood is now telling us, allegedly, about insecurity. The idiots that lost elections and they killed youth coppers, 11 of them, Igbo people, is telling me about insecurity. The person that said an attack against Boko Haram is an attack against the North is telling me about insecurity. The people appointed as the spokespeople, chief negotiator for Boko Haram is telling me about insecurity. And you swallow all this nonsense every day. Chineke Meluna Bele and these black people. This work is a burden that Elohim has given to me. It's a burden. And that's why I'm discharging it. I will take 1 or 2 of your calls before we bring this program to a close. You know the numbers to call, of course, is on WhatsApp I'll give you the WhatsApp number to call. Some of you know it already, and some will start calling very shortly. The WhatsApp number to call is +44, is a UK number, 7951278705. The lines are open. I'll take a few calls, please, and try to make some sense. I want to take a few calls, please. +44 7951278705. That is on WhatsApp. If you call us, I will take your call. If you call us, I will take your call. Are they calling already? Somebody's calling already. Let's take this call. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you're calling from. Can you hear me? No, they can't. It says it's connecting. Maybe the network is very poor. The network is very poor. Let's take this one on signal. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Mazi, good evening, sir.
Good evening to you, please. Your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Chinedu Nwosu. I'm calling from Hungary.
From Hungary, please go ahead. We're listening.
Sir, Mazi, please, what I have to say that is this. Please, all these army barracks in our land, we need to flush them away. All these army barracks. These are terrorists in uniform.
Of course, they're terrorists. Of course, they're terrorists.
They are terrorists. We
They are
need to
terrorists.
flush them
Yes,
out of Biafran land. This is my contribution, sir.
thank you very much. And that is why I keep asking people, I keep asking Yoruba journalists, you people supporting Fulani because of Tinubu. All those Boko Haram terrorists recruited into the army, where are they?
Yes.
Where are they? How do we know that the Olokwa on the road is a genuine police officer or a terrorist in uniform? How do we know? How do you distinguish? Nobody can tell. Tomorrow, our Nigeria, we want to vote in 2023. We vote out and we put in the useless set of idiots. Thank you for your call, my dear brother. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening, sir. Nnamdi Kanu.
Good evening to you.
So, my name is Naifan, calling from Germany.
Yes, go ahead.
I beg, wait, I want to talk because the way that they kill our people for Biafran land, I know they have. We are the shed tears. Anytime I see dead body. Not because I just tired. The world need to come rest.
The world cannot do anything. The world wants you to be killed. The world hates you. You defend yourself. I have told them. Now listen to me very carefully. I have told our young people, you enter the bush. Enter the bush. I told you during NSAS, they did not listen. Good life, watching Champions League. I'm not interested in that rubbish. I don't want to hear any lamentation. Do something about it. It's called a guerrilla war. Do something about it. Do something about it. The caller on the line, can you hear me? No, let me go and take this other one. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. I'm Bobina. It's from here in Pennsylvania, USA.
Pennsylvania, USA. Please speak in English, please. The world is listening. Speak in English. The world is listening.
Okay. I'm calling from USA, Pennsylvania.
Please go ahead.
Manzi, thank you very much for everything you are doing for Igbo people and Biafra as a whole. I'm taking this opportunity to greet you and say, may God Almighty continue to bless you and strengthen you in Jesus' name.
Yes, sir.
Manzi, I want to make my contribution that I think that our problem is not even anybody else but our leaders, our Igwes. All these people that comes out on TV to talk nonsense about Igbo people or Biafra people and about our struggle. I think it is the high time we must not wait for ESN or IPOB. As a youth, any place you are, all these our Igwes, because you can see that the Abuja control the governor and the governors control our elders. My uncle is Igwe. I'm from Mudiamokwe. Every year, they give them car, they pay their salaries. They build mansions everywhere. Now, if we're able to capture our leaders, if you watch like the Yoruba leaders, the Yoruba agitators, they do the work, they hold their elders, but we don't have our elders. We lost them to the governors, and the governors obey we lost our elders to the governors, and the governors obey Fulani. So if we can be able to organize ourselves. We don't need to wait for ESN. We don't need to wait for IPOB. We want that group of people. Anyway, all these our egos that talk nonsense. Once they finish saying anything, they talk on TV. Once they are home, make sure that their houses are burned down. Their cars are burned down. You see that they'll come out on TV. When they ask them questions, they'll start shaking their mouth. So this is a collective work by everybody, not only IPOB. Anybody that listens to me all over the world, it is time for us Igbos, for us Biafrans. Don't wait for Nnamdi Kanu. Don't wait for IPOB. Don't wait. Even if you are two people, put a bottle of fuel in a bottle, set it fire, throw it there. It will catch fire. We must not wait for it.
Thank you. They will see them coming. You will be in your upstairs. You will see them with only 2 hillocks coming to arrest somebody or to kill. You'll be there tweeting, oh, they have come. Oh, they only have one exit, one entry, Why don't you block it and firebomb them? And they will roast to death. And you'll be at 419 as these days. I look at you and I laugh at you. In the time of the ancients, once there is, a whiff of or word that this family that they give birth to thieves, believe you me, all of that name, that lineage, you will die a natural death, because nobody will agree to marry into that family, and nobody will come there to take their daughters. That's how we are as a people. An ex-419, a murderer and a killer, was installed in Imo State, and he had the temerity. Nobody told him about what has gone before, that you don't come outside to challenge the will of God. Everything IPOB does is the will of God Almighty in heaven. That is why we pray the way we do. That is why we comport ourselves the way we do. That is why we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. That is why we are without blemish, insofar as the restoration of Biafra is concerned. Without blemish, I'm telling you. That is why everything I say comes to pass. That is why everything that IPOB touches turns into gold. That is why we are unstoppable. That is why, despite the fact that politicians do not support us, despite the fact that all the so-called money bags do not support us, today we are the largest, most potent mass movement anywhere on earth. We are formidable. IPOB. IPOB is a spirit. When you provoke us, we turn into monsters. But in the main, we are peace-loving people, because we are the children of God Almighty in heaven. Without God, how can we be where we are today? I ask you. With nothing. That today we give a command and the whole world stands still. Do you think it is us that is doing it? It is God Almighty in heaven, using us as instruments to make the manifestation of his will upon the lives of his children a reality in their time. That's exactly what we are doing. IPOB is a monster, I'm telling you. I commend all of you. All of you, I commend each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. We are doing that which is right before God Almighty in heaven and the sons of men on this very earth. There was the only people that actually did something decent. The decent coverage was by Vanguard newspaper. I think it's one correspondent who wrote it. It's called, what's his name again? I think a lot of them put this very piece together. Very many of them. I think Vincent Ujumadu, Festus Ahon, Chidi Wopara, Chinonsa Lozio, Gochupu, Steve Oko is there, Ikechiku, Odu Chinedu, Adon, all of them, Chimobi Wiwu, Wabweze Okonkwo, they went out onto the streets to ask questions. Because in the morning of this very this historic lockdown, not sit at home, lockdown of Biafra land yesterday, they sought permission to say, please, if we move about, we said to them, as long as you're a journalist, nothing's going to happen to you. Go and ask questions. And they did. They did. Let me give you a few headlines as to what Biafrans did yesterday. The zoo is still in a shock. That was why some people hurriedly were putting their propaganda together. 4 ESN operatives killed, arms recovered, all these idiots. Even some fools used the name of Professor Akintoye to be writing rubbish, thinking I will respond to it. I know that's what Tinubu is doing. That's the way they operate. They think they can use the media to hoodwink and bamboozle all of us. They don't know we're in a media age, and this generation is very, very savvy. They can discern, they can understand, they can interpret. Socio-economic activities paralyzed in Enugu, Ebonyi, Anambra, Abia, Asaba, and Rivers. Which are you listening? Sometimes I wonder what Yoruba journalists gain by being mischievous and evil. There are some professions that doesn't actually suit black people. Any profession in this life that requires you to use your conscience to work for the benefit of humanity, a black person should not be occupying that position. I will enumerate later on. For the first time, the streets were empty. Umuahia, where I come from, is known for their stupidity and idiocy. Arguably one of the most un-Biafran and idiotic set of people on the face of this very earth. The Ibeku that I come from, very foolish. Most of you don't know that Agu Ironsi is an Ibeku man. It's from my clan. Do you know that? Do you know that the first general in the history of Nigeria, if not the whole of Africa, I mean battlefield general, not quota general, the people that gave Ironsi his generalship were white people, not blacks. White. Oyibo. Ironsi was a battlefield general, not general. Agree. The first general, the first indigenous commander of the Nigerian army is from Ibeku, my clan. My village, or should I say my mother's village in Duma. It's from Omwana. Ibeku. We produced the first military head of state, the first general ever, battlefield general, even general before the zoo became an independent enclave of the British. And that Ibeku, if you ask them to sit at home, they'll be talking rubbish. That is why they were ignored. History forgot about them. It's my land, yes. History forgot about them completely. Because of their idiocy and stupidity. Umuahia is the land that produced Dr. Michael Obara. The same way Umuahia produced Ironsi, Umuahia produced Dr. Michael Obara. The man, according to Harvard Review, not black big newspaper or magazine, according to Harvard Review, the fastest growing economy in the world, the man that made it possible. It was Opera's miracle, economic miracle, that frightened Britain. That was why they organized the first coup, so that they can slaughter us. That man is from Umuahia. The only black man in the history of the world to grow the economy of his region faster than any other economy in the world, including USA, including Britain, including Japan, everybody else. Number one in the world is from Umuahia. Yet if you ask Umuahia, they don't even know who they are. That's why they are foolish. But I think yesterday they came back to their senses, and I commend them. Of course, Abba is always there. Abba and Onisha, how can I forget? Abba and Onisha. I salute them immensely. And they say better late than never. Enugu did very well, and I commend them. Ebonyi, of course, was there too. Enugu did, except people were lamenting. After my program yesterday morning, people started calling and lamenting. Some were calling my lawyers and lamenting and saying, how can he say this thing about Enugu? Enugu is complying. All we want is total compliance everywhere, because Biafra doesn't belong to me. I'm only preaching the gospel that heaven asked me to preach. Biafra is your own. You are fighting for a better future for your children, away from the horrible torment of Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate. Biafra is yours. It doesn't belong to me. When we ask you to sit at home, you must comply. It's for your own good and the good of your children. Today, haven't you heard that the whole world is reverberating to the success that was recorded? We are the very best of the best. And I must commend Governor Obiano for building the cenotaph. He built it last year. I think it was last year he built it, but this year, you know, our people, you know, Biafrans, everything takes time. Everything takes time. I'm sure in the next 2-3 years, if this tradition continues, the whole world, only then will the world recognize that there was genocide against us. So you don't know that? If you don't say you're somewhere, nobody will quote you that you're there. We cannot be going around and saying to the world, a great injustice was done to Biafra or Zemena, when you yourself, you're not doing anything about it. Days like yesterday is what will bring to the fore the level of injustice and mayhem visited upon Biafran people. Only then will the world consider Biafra genocide as being worthy to be mentioned in the book of those that have been killed unjustly in the history of man. I said it yesterday and I want to say it again today that I'm commending Governor Willie Obiano, Ugwuanyi, Ikpeazu, Umahi, and Okowa of Delta State. Very, very critical. That I commend them because of the role that they played. Everybody got together and made sure that this happened. Imo State was not locked down. Thank you, my dear brother. It was chained. I claim Imo State chained. Apple. Imo State was chained. That whole way was chained. No army, no police, nobody, no bagger there to move. On that chain, lock and key. Over a municipality, on that chain, they couldn't come out. I don't care why they did what they did, even if they, after all, man's daily existence is politics itself. I don't care why the governors decided to change their minds, but we welcome it all the same. If they do the right thing, of course, we will commend them. We sat at home and I commend each and every one of you. Nobody should give any time to that idiot. Well, he now owns Channels TV. Every 2 days he will appear on channels. He will pay them money and they'll be writing rubbish about him. He was ranting as usual. After snorting cocaine and drinking Hennessy, his vocal cords all gone. A lawyer who doesn't know the meaning of the rule of law. They're talking like somebody who maybe, you know, anything is possible these days. You know that men can become pregnant. Are you aware of that? Do you know that men can become pregnant these days? Go and search for it. I won't say you Google it. I'll say go and search for it. Maybe use Bing search engine. Don't use Google because they've been bought over by the zoo as well. Go and search and you'll see it. Men can become pregnant. Maybe Wike had a miscarriage. You know. Anyway, I know that love is very strong. His love for Tambuwal, you know, outweighs his identity and ethnicity. That is why he's always ranting and talking like a fool. Who cannot, a man who sits on a chair like a woman. Oh dear me. I have said it before that any profession that requires men to fall back on their conscience when making decisions is not for black people. Why am I saying what I'm saying? In the zoo, before you can pass your exams, the lecturer must sleep with you. Is that not correct? Am I correct? Or you have to pay them bribe. Is that not correct? Is that not correct? It is only in Africa that pastors own private jets. The Pope, who is the richest religious figure in the world, has no jet. Africa houses the poorest countries in the world, but their pastors, they have private jets. An anomaly. They call it blessing. Any profession that requires men to use their conscience is not for black people. How about judges in a law court? In the zoo, they have 2 judgments. If you bring brown envelope, they give you a favorable judgment. That's what they do. Isn't it? Black people. How about journalism? Apart from Dele Jiwa and a few other bright people, maybe now Dele Momodu, because he has seen the light, has seen the truth. Apart from Dele Giwa and now another Dele Momodu maybe, if he can keep it up and continue to be consistent. The rest, are they journalists? Maybe once in a while. Or should I, let me focus on the editors, not the journalists themselves, the editors. What you have in the zoo is journalism. Channels TV was interviewing Wike live. Channels TV is aware that Iguacha was on lockdown. They saw the pictures and they saw the videos. Instead of to ask the man, how come parts of River State was on lockdown? He said, I said, we are not part of them. IPOB cannot come here and tell us what to do. But I did. And they listened to me. They didn't listen to you. They didn't listen to you. Did they? You want me to send you the pictures and the videos? Please, people should send it on Twitter and tag him so he can see it. Pictures and videos of Iguacha, especially that idiot that went to a bank asking for the bank to open. And the bank said that we cannot open. There is an order, a sit at home. Send that video to Weekend to Channels TV. You know what I'm going there. Not you think if you appear so many times on Channels TV to impress your lover, Tambua, somehow they will believe you? Is that what you think? During referendum, you are talking like a drunken fool. During referendum, you only have one vote. Me, Nnamdi Kanu, only one single vote. Do you want Biafra to be free or do you want to remain in Nigeria? Simple. That day you cast your vote. Only one vote you will cast. You little demon. Idiots like you. After maybe 2 years, you come down there. Then it goes in here, if we don't get you before then. I say it out in the open. I don't hide it. You went, that as I've been saying, I want to go to Hague. I want to be tried in a law court anywhere in the world where all the facts about the zoo, all the nonsense you fools have been doing will be brought to public knowledge. That day, the whole world will know what you've been up to. Mad people. You remember there was a time even African referees were not allowed to referee any match because they are corrupt. As black people for you. I don't want to spend time educating Channels TV and the wannabe Hitler on how Rivers was created, but I'll just touch upon it very briefly. I want you to understand that River State, go to Wikipedia. After River State, you will see a bracket. Inside it is Igbo, IGBO, for information. Maybe tomorrow you pay them to change it. Oh, dear me. You were created in 1967. 27th of May, 1967, you were created. Remember what I told you people about Children's Day, 27th of May. Some of you don't know these things, but I will teach you. Children's Day that you are celebrating coincides with the day that River State was created. That was the day that the Eastern Consultative Assembly gave Ojukwu the mandate to declare Biafra. That same day, the British intelligence got wind of it through BBC correspondent in Enugu. And Britain called Gowon and told Gowon what was happening and gave Gowon this advice. That they themselves, being the British, the best way they have used over the centuries to conquer people is by dividing them. Divide them first, then you go and conquer them. Divide and rule. And go on that same 27 children, as I told you, the reason why they call it Children's Day. People don't know how important 27th of May is. It was on that same day as they were deliberating that River State was created. That same day. Are you following? People didn't actually go to school, writing rubbish and talking nonsense about the Constitution and all that rubbish. I look at them and I laugh because they are not educated. They didn't go to school. I went to Government College, University of Nigeria, and Nsukka. Of course, SBS, Iguacha, School of Basic Studies in Port Harcourt. I went to London Metropolitan University. We are well read. Akwụkwọ, I go because we are well read. We know what we're talking about. On that 27th of May, as British intelligence MI5 got wind of the fact that the Eastern Consultative Assembly had granted Ojukwu the right to proclaim Biafra on the 27th, they told Gowon to divide Biafra. That same day, and River State was created. Weak, are you listening? Because you don't know history. You're a fool. You know this Rivers. I'm a Rivers man. How old are you? You're just like those shouting one Nigeria every blessed day. Idiotic, moronic set of people. A man is 80-something years old, older than Nigeria by over 20-something years. And I'm asking you, before you became a Nigerian, who were you? They cannot answer. That is one thing I hold against Nigerians. And I will keep on holding them until their shame will sink into them. I'm asking you, how old were you in 1967? Wike, I'm asking you. That was when your Rivers was created. And you proceeded to go and start stealing properties belonging to your brothers. Because you don't want the land to kill you. That's why you said you are no longer Igbo. Idiot like you. If some of you have been following the news lately, you will see that they said it has passed the second reading or third reading, their restructuring bill. In that restructuring bill, they are now proposing to create a new state called an Neoma state with the capital in Ahaba, which some of you call Asaba, of course, because you're ignorant, you're all products of colonial rule anyway. And they plan to add it into Southeast. Ahaba, Delta State, and Neoma, but not River State, because Fulani is very lazy. They need to do to the rest of you what they did to Ogoni people. Then your eyes will open. By the time they'll be dealing with you, you'll be shouting and nobody will listen to you. Allow Wicked to keep misleading all of you, like the idiots that some of you are. We used to have the same problem everywhere around Biafra land until we said no, enough is enough. We can go on, created you, Rivers, 27th of May 1967, the same day that the lives of Frank Opigo from Okrika, for your information, and a German was in Enugu advising Ojukwu. That same period, that same day, that same 27th, Ojukwu said, what shall we call this our new nation? After they had passed the resolution. And a German, I'm saying this because I've just said Niger Delta, I'm a nation, other rubbish. I want you to listen to me very carefully. And a German rose up, Chief Frank Opigo, and said, the name of our new nation shall be Biafra. And Ojukwu asked him, why Biafra? Because Ojukwu himself, even a historian, an Oxford-trained historian, did not know. Frank Opigo whispered to him, not in here, I will tell you later what Biafra means. Do you know how God works? Ojukwu did not quibble. He did not argue. If Ojukwu wanted to dominate other people, if Igbos had wanted to dominate other people, Ojukwu would have just said, this new nation shall be called Igbo nation, isn't it? But you see, these people, I don't know. They said that the zoo army is in Abao, they're looking for trouble. When they get to them, they start complaining. Nigerian army is now in Abao, perambulating and patrolling, looking for who to kill. When the angels find them now and send them to God for judgment, you start writing rubbish. Now they're patrolling inside Abao, but you cannot ask them to go back to the barracks and sit down. Because nothing is happening. As I was saying before, those zoo vermins interrupted my train of thought. That same 27th of May, 1967, that day is very, very critical, I'm telling you. As Frank Opigo and a German was telling Ojukwu, later on I will tell you why I recommended that the name should be Biafra. And the Holy Spirit was upon Ojukwu God was, angels from heaven were ministering to him, telling him, listen to Frank Opigo. And as soon as Chief Opigo finished, Ojukwu said the new name shall be Biafra. If Ojukwu had domineering tendencies, if the Igbos wanted to lord it over every other person, to conquer them, I think Ojukwu should have insisted on the place answering Igbo nation, isn't it? That's pure common sense, as the Fulanis are doing to the Hausa people up north. Isn't it? Of course, Ahaba is in Mbito. Ahaba, Asaba is Ahaba. The name is Ahaba. Go there. If you go to Asaba tomorrow morning, you see the name there, Ahaba. Go and ask the traditional ruler. The Asaba of Asaba. Go and ask him, what is your name? You tell him that. If you go to his palace, you go to Ahaba. That's the name. Like Ahabi Meni. Who doesn't know that? Is it all this nonsense, these corrupt, useless Yoruba journalists are writing every day that you're reading? That's why people who are born in Lagos, sometimes, to be honest with you, I don't quite see them as normal people, to be honest with you. I'm being honest. All these people that grew up in Lagos and Kanu, all these places, they know nothing in their brain. They are the ones that will insist. The name is Asaba. It's Ahaba. Go there to Ahaba, you will see it. As you have Ahabi many. Common sense, they don't have. They claim they're educated. I went to school. I have PhD. Do you know who I am? Whereas your brain is empty. You know nothing, absolutely nothing. Ojukwu adopted the name Biafra. As Ojukwu was giving us the name Biafra, christening us Biafra, according to the advice of Chief Frank Opigo, one idiot or somewhere called Go On is saying, I'm going to divide you. I'm going to create Cross River, and I'm going to create a Goja State, and I'm also going to create River State. True or false? We care. I throw like you. What do you know? You go on channels and you're talking like somebody that fell from a palm tapa that fell from palm tree. It's bad, huh? I throw like you claim you're a lawyer, you know nothing. Absolutely nothing. Your brain is empty. Absolutely empty. That is why a fellow man like Tampu will useless to your backside, because you're an idiot. You're a complete fool. You know nothing. I feel sorry for those you are deceiving. Poor students. You raise in the zoo, you go to NYSC, your brain is empty, you know nothing. Absolutely nothing. You don't know your history. You don't even know the history of your own village. We should start by asking, what is the history of my village? I know where we come from. My village. I kept asking my father before he passed. I kept asking him, tell me the history of Isiama Faruku, and he told me. The soldiers are molesting people. Katrina Lang, where you're having your head, I hope you're listening. Channels TV, Yoruba journalists, I hope you're listening. That soldiers, Nigerian soldiers are in Aban right now molesting people. I hope you can hear it. When there is equal response now, you start writing your junk. That's why I said that a black man should not be a journalist. We lack conscience. Black people do not have conscience. That is why you give chieftaincy titles to people who are doing 419. People like Hope Uzodinma can come and become a governor of a state. In the olden days, people like him will be exiled or sold into slavery because he's a thief. 419, go on. River State was created. In fact, I want to direct now, you claim you're a lawyer, and also Channels TV. Somebody should also email Channels TV as many people as possible the Willink Commission report of 1958. Because I don't know, is there anything wrong with your brain cells? You people, you animals in the zoo animals calling themselves Nigerians. Is there anything, are you sure your brain is not made of sawdust? Is there something in your brain that is stopping you from reasoning? I want somebody to send this very report, the Willink Commission report, to every idiot that calls him or herself a Niger Deltan. Send it to them. Send it to them because the idiocy is becoming too much. This foolishness can no longer be tolerated. Send it to them. Ikwere, Eche, Ekpeye, Opobo, Ebane, which is born today, Orata. Orata, you know where is also in Ikwere land. They say they are not, we are from Guinea, near the upper of palace, near his palace. Chai. Who did this thing to you people? Who did, you know, I can understand. I know that black people by nature are very stupid. But it seems to me there are layers of stupidity. All these Niger Delta South people, it seems your own stupidity is incomparable. I'm telling you. God forbid. Oh, no wonder the Sultan can come to Bayelsa and own over 30 oil wells. Now you understand it, don't you? No wonder. No wonder Danjuma owns 15 oil wells. No wonder your land can be polluted and you can't do nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. What can you do? Nothing. You lament, you cry, and nobody listens. And they float NDDC. And their budget is maybe $1 million, and all of you are scrambling for $1 million. Whereas the Sultan of Sokoto preaching unity and one Nigeria is because of his oil wells in Bayelsa. And you're telling me you went to school. You're telling me you can reason. You are telling me you can think properly. Do you understand it? Do you understand it? Ikweleche Ekpeye, Opobo, Iban, which they call Boni, Orata, Ogba, Ndoke are all indigenous Igbo extraction in River State. It is called Rivers Igbo. I want you to go to Wikipedia now and type in River State on Wikipedia. You will see it. River State, the first bracket you see is Igbo, IGBO. People may wonder, why am I preaching this all the time? Because I grew up in the village. And in the village, you learn a lot of things. Not like in the township, where you learn nothing. You live in a yard. I grew up in the village. And there is a saying where we come from. You can only show me my relative. You cannot show me my friend, because I make my friends myself. You can't bring somebody and say, oh, come, this is your friend. No. If at all any of you have had the privilege of staying in a village, in a Biafran, typical Igbo village, Biafran village, for up to a week, let's say during festive season, what happens usually? If you can remember, one them listen, intellectual, listen. When you are in the village, during any festive season, how many times have you heard your mom or your father say, oh, come, come, come? They'll call your name and say, come. Come and see your uncle. Come and see your aunt. Come and see your cousin. How many times? Because they are all your relatives. That's the only people they can show to you. Nobody can show you your friend, because your friends you make yourself. Now you understand me? Going back to Wike and the Ikwere people, or some not Ikwere player, I don't want to generalize. After all, it was an Ikwere chief that was coming to see me when I was in prison. The delegation of people coming to see me when I was in prison, if you go to the archives of the people coming to court, anytime I have a case, they will charter luxurious bus from Iguacha all the way to Abuja. He's an Ikwere chief. Have you all forgotten? You have all forgotten, haven't you? So I am weak, cannot make me to generalize. I'm not stupid. Who were the people that observed the sit at home, the lockdown yesterday in Rivers? I don't know Ikwere people. Yes, and I'm asking you a simple question. So I'm not going to generalize. I am not going to generalize. Now listen to me. Before independence of the zoo, before the 27th of May 1967, there was no identity crisis in Rivers, none whatsoever, none. I have said this thing to people many times. They don't want to listen. When I was arguing about the origin of the Igbo race, some people said they're anthropologists, they're historians, and all that rubbish. They were talking pure people. And I tried to prove to them that the Igbo race is comprised or made up of three distinct people. Three distinct, I said different people make up the Igbo race. They were talking nonsense. I said to them that the best place, because our ancestors were very clever, how you know where you come from is by the names you give your children or the names you give your towns and your villages. And they said, how did I come to that realization? I said to them, do you know that the last phase that came, the house of Ephraim and Manasseh, that came from the Harish region of Israel, the last migration that came, those that passed through Ethiopia, that went through Rwanda and all the rest of it, through Cameroon before coming down to settle, crossing the Mambala River and settling at Umwere and Aguleri. Do you know who they are? Of course, people do not know. They were the ones that gave the name. They were the people that realized that the oldest people on that land are the Igbo people. When they came to a place called Agolo, they said that this is the road that leads to the settlement of Igbo people. They named it Agolo Ozo Igbo, which means Agolo, where you pass before you go to the settlement of Igbo people. Agolo, Agolo Ozo Igbo. Ozo means the road that leads to. The same way you have Akole and Ozo Akole. Ozo Akole means this is the road you use to go to Akole. I don't know if people are paying attention. Heaven. They are the ones that said this is Agolo Zibo. This is Agolo. This Agolo settlement is the road you use to go to where Igbos are. Agolo Esiaga Ebendi Igbo, Agolo Ozo Igbo. I hope that makes sense to most of you. Now you understand. All of you fools claiming South. So, do you know that Aguleri people and Umweri can be said they're not Igbo? Do you know that? Do you know that Owere people and Arochu can say they're not Igbo? Do you know that some parts of Umbise, Ohoho and Bibeku can say they're not Igbo? Are you aware of that? Because the original people who were there can be found in a place called, we know our names are very brilliant. Ibuku. Hope you understand it very clearly now. You are following what I'm saying. I go back to the Willing Commission. The reason why we keep having this debate all the time is because our people are not educated. I'm sorry to say this, but our people are not well educated. That is the problem. If you can take out only 5 minutes, anybody calling themselves Niger Delta, I'm Ikule, I'm not Igbo, I'm Anyoma, I'm not Igbo. If you can take out only 5 minutes to read the Willing Commission report, white people wrote it, not blacks, then you will understand your stupidity. It will be staring you in the face. This is from Wike. According to a Willing report, white man in 1958, way before, almost 10 years before Go On created or gave you your new identity. More than I'm reading the report verbatim, white man's report, Willing, because they complained. Everywhere you go, Igbo man is there, in Igbocha, everywhere. We want minority, we want to be recognized. They call themselves minority. Is that correct? When Britain was tuning them. Because Britain wanted unrestricted access to our oil and gas. And the only way to achieve it is to tell Ogoni people, yeah, you see, you are distinct, you are different. Ever since they started telling Ogoni people that they are different, have they succeeded? The answer is no. They come to Ijo, hey, Ijo nation, Ijo, you're different, oh. Have you succeeded in getting your resource control? The answer is no. They come to the upper land of Igbo, which is from across Imo River. Not minding there's a place called Obibo. They tell you, oh, they hate you. This South Nigeria, they hate you. Look for one Igbo nation only. Don't mind them. And some intellectuals and the Fulefus will buy into it. They want to divide you to weaken you. You have forgotten that Ahoda people are Igbo people. Boni people are Igbo people. I want to challenge all of you now. You know, during the burning of the house of that traitor, that saboteur, called, do you know who was, go on appointed Dieter Spiff, the one they just chased away from his palace now, as the governor of River State. Are you aware of that? No, you don't know, but I'm telling you now. That man they pursued a few days ago from his palace. He's called Alfred Dieter Spiff, if I'm not mistaken. He was the saboteur that Gowon used to administer River State, to spite Ojukwu, understand? So they created natural saboteurs. You see this man you call, what's his name, Edwin Clark. Do you know why I hate him? He's a father, he's an elderly man. I should be respecting him. Is that not correct? According to our culture. Do you know why I hate him with a passion? He was a saboteur. They made him Minister for Information. That's how they roll. Janjaweed and their British masters, they gave them political positions. They now went back to go and convince their own people that Biafra is a bad thing for them to be part of because of political appointment. Are you following me? This man was sacked from his palace a few days ago. Are you listening to me? He was sacked. Do you know why he was sacked? I can't see a on. Go and watch that video again. All the people from Nembe, I think it's Nembe in Brass, Tom Brass. I want you to go and watch the video of the indigenes of Tuan Brass in Nembe or whatever it is, removing the very corrupt king Alfred Dieter Spiff. They were all speaking a dialect of Igbo in a Joland. Go and watch the video again and again and again. Are you listening to me? People ask me, why are you doing this? Are you begging them to join you? Why did you reject Igbo only Biafra? I said to them, as Oriental brothers sang in their song Kabaka in those days, I am only identifying with my flesh and my own blood, the same DNA, the same heritage, the same value system. In a referendum, they will have the chance to reject me. Then if they do, I will respect it. That is their own prerogative. And forever and ever, we will make it as a law that is binding on every generation, that these are no longer your people. And I'm upon you. That's what we're trying to do. We are not forcing anybody to do anything. I am doing what the ancients did. If you see your flesh and blood, you recognize them. That's all we are doing. That is all we are doing. I will get to the case of Ogoni and the rest of them later on. But I want our people to understand this. The reason why they are goading you or forcing you to adopt a different identity is because it will be easier for them to control you once we are divided. I have preached this gospel before and I'll preach it again. The only reason why they killed Ken Saro-Wiwa was because the Igbos did not rise up to defend him. That's all. The reason why they did not kill me whilst I was in detention was because of the Avengers. Not Igbo people. Of course, IPOB was formidable. I mean, blocking Head Bridge for 4 days. You know, who could have done that? And people ask me, why do I keep saying I will sacrifice anything for Biafra? Because they sacrificed everything for me. Head Bridge was blocked for 4 days. Avengers came out. Mainly Ijo youths came out to say we will blow up every Nigeria will not export any oil. Their number one demand was releasing Nnamdi Kanu from detention. How can I not preach about the unity of these people? Why won't I preach it? I hope that Wike can learn. Wike, I'm going to read William Commission report for you. More than 98% of people who inhabit this area is called the Igbo Plateau of the Eastern region. Do you know what it's called? It's called a plateau. You know what a plateau is? Like Plateau State. It's a tableland, it's a flat land. If you cross Ngwa, once you enter Ngwa, basically, if you don't know, Udi Hills ends. You know why? Udi, some of you that did geography, Udi Hills, the range of hills where you have hills and you have valley. Like if you go to Olokoro, if you go, there are hills, there are valleys, and all that. It ends in Omuahia. From Ngwa, it is now flat land all the way to the ocean. That was why the white man called it the Igbo Plateau. It is in the Willings report of 1958. Channels, are you listening? Wike, are you listening? I'm reading the report for you. They are all Igbo and they speak one language, though of course with certain differences of dialect. There are nearly 5 million of them and they are too many for the soil to support. They are vigorous and intelligent and have pushed outward in every direction, seeking a livelihood by trade or in service in the surrounding areas of the eastern region, in the western region, in the north and outside Nigeria. They are no more popular with their neighbors than is usual in the case of an energetic and expanding people whose neighbors have a more leisurely outlook on life. This is simple English written by a white man. Wike, are you listening? General Stevie, are you listening? A white man said in 1958, these people that inhabit the plateau of rivers, I call Igbocha, that is the proper name. You people, you are Igbo. You are intelligent. I'm not talking about Igbo people. You are very smart. You diverse. You travel out wide. You're energetic. You're hardworking. But the places you are going to, the people hate you. In the north, in the west, everywhere you go to, they hate you because those people are lazy. That's what the white man said. I didn't say it. It's here now in their paper. Hi. My goodness me. They hate us because we are hardworking. That is why they brought Ahmed Gulag to Owerri and killed him, that they may demonize and kill as many of us as possible. Because we are energetic. We are blessed by God. Everybody is in this together. Everybody in the former Eastern region. This is what a white man wrote about you in 1958. Do you know what the white man said again? As I've been teaching you for a very long time, Chibueze. Let me tell you what the white man said. Though there has been no great kingdoms or indigenous culture in the Eastern region, no great kingdom. The only reason why Britain hated us was because they could not have any one man to go to say, oh, tell them what to do. Because we had no kings. But the coastal chiefs means Ijaw people, the coastal chiefs, those who live by the very close to the Atlantic Ocean, they grew on their trade with European merchant ships, simply slavery. That's all they were doing. So some of you that claim you're from Ijaw, you're not Biafra, you are saboteurs. It's in your nature. You've been selling your brothers to the white man from time. You know me, I speak the truth. And I damn the consequences. When you see somebody from Ijaw land as a traitor, it didn't start today. They started selling us to the white man. Betrayal is in their blood. Look at Edwin Clark. Look at our data spiff. But I'm not going to generalize. The man that gave us the name Biafra that most Ijaw people say they don't want to identify with is an Ijaw man. That is the most, that is the irony of the whole thing. I thank God for Franco Pigo. I thank God for people I cannot mention their names here because I don't want the police looking for them. From Ijaland. I thank Tompolo. I thank all of them. They know who they are. That have this thing at heart. I'm not saying that Igbo politicians have helped any matters or no, they made it worse. And sometimes I don't blame our brothers from the coastal region. In the year 1999, I've said this story, I've told you this story about 1 billion times over, but I'll say it again tonight. When you were still running around or carrying bag for politicians, I left England to try to come to Biafra land to unite this great family. Then there was no IPOB. There was no agitation by anybody. This was before MASOP started. Before anybody mentioned Biafra to anybody. I was at a place called Obunabali in Iguacha, talking to the local chief, the traditional ruler there. And he said to me, my son, where are your fathers? This particular message you're bringing to me, your father should be bringing it here. A message of hope and reconciliation of our people. Because I sat him down and I lectured him about history and who we are, that we are one people. That was the day that I went to the office of Don Mite of Mosop. Ask him, he will tell you. The year was 1999. We've come a long way, haven't we? It's called consistency. I never change. Ask Mite, the leader of Mosop, what I told him in his office. I met him in his office in Niger Street. In Iguacha. I'll never forget. That day, I was coming from the home. I don't know if it's late now, because it's a very long time. I was coming from the home of the traditional ruler of Obunabali. You know, Hotel Chester is opposite. Oh dear, let Lord have mercy upon us. They don't know who we are. We have gone very far. Very, very far. I said Mosop. That was where I was. You copied the name from Mosop. Movement for the survival of Ogoni people. That was the #1 freedom fighting movement that was instituted anywhere in the East. They are #1. Mosop was #1. Ogoni freedom fighters, they were #1. Or was it he merely copied the name because he was too lazy to do anything? So he just copied the name. Are you listening to me? The Rivers province include Brass and Degema. Brass and Degema were overwhelmingly Ejo. I told about one Brass a while ago where Dieter Spieth came from, where he was sacked a few days ago. They were speaking Igbo dialect. And then there was the Ogoni division. It is all here. In that very place, that time, out of a population in Rivers province of 747,000 people in your so-called River State, 305,000 were Igbo people. 240,000 were Ijo people. 156 were Ogoni people. The only three people mentioned, distinct groups mentioned in River State were Igbo, the owners of rivers, Igbo, Ejo, and Ogoni. Every other subgroup, you must find yourself under either you are Ogoni, you are Ejo, or you are Igbo. And the highest population of Igbo people in River State, the highest population of people in the ethnic group in River State, Igbo people, in 1958. Oh, dear me, dear me, dear me, dear me. My goodness. I don't know if I'm to continue or to stop, because sometimes I don't know if our people are actually absorbing what we are telling them. I don't know. Let me tell you what happened. According to the white man said, in the whole of the non-Igbo areas, the Ijo and the Ogoni areas, there were some fear that they are being overrun by the Igbo. The Igbo includes Ikwere people, mind you, in their own land. There was fear of being overrun commercially and politically by the Igbos. If Ahoda and Port Harcourt, which is Iguacha, which are really Igbo, a white man, are you listening to me? I've forgotten all the, I've forgotten, I have other things to preach, but I want to educate this fool and Channels TV. Yoruba journalists, I want to educate you, because some of you are very daft, you know nothing. I'm reading what a white man investigated and reported upon in 1958. What did this white man say? The white man said, in non-Igbo areas, which is Ijo and Ogoni, they are afraid that Igbo man will overrun them commercially and politically. This Igbo man includes Ikwere man, which is Wike's lineage. Wike's people. They said, if Ahoda and Port Harcourt, which are really Igbo, a white man said, Iguacha is Igbo. The people that colonized you. The people that colonized you said, Igwocha is Igbo. It is here. Willing commission that you cried to. You were the people that petitioned him and said, we are minority. We are dying. Come and save us. The white man came and said and told you that Ahoda and the Igwocha Port Harcourt are Igbo. It was considered the solid center of Igbo population. The fear and grievances of minorities. Why this commission was set up. After today, I will not read this very subject again. Please make sure, our media team, make sure you cut out this very thing. Anybody who talks nonsense about Nigeria, South, please cut this very clip and give it to that very individual so they can receive some sense. I am asking them, I am giving them references. I'm not asking them to just sit in one place and accept what I'm saying. No, I'm asking them to go and do research on what I have said. On what I have said. The allegation was put forward by the council to the petitioners that the judiciary was predominantly Igbo, with the implication that this caused fear among those who are not Igbos. But it was clearly stated in the evidence by Dr. Udoma, the leader of UNIP, that no occasion could be adduced of the judiciary acting with partiality. So the white people concluded that the fears of the so-called minorities were unfounded, because this man, Dr. Udoma, came and said to them, show us an instance of impartiality by the judges. And they couldn't show anything. They couldn't. That tells you all you need to know. Do some of you know the reason why most people from core areas, which is Cross River, Rivers, and the Goja region in those days, were mainly, police officers? It was as a result of this willing commission. He was the one that recommended that, okay, if you are afraid that you're going to be overrun, okay, give them priority in the police service. That's why most of them were in the police. That is a fact, it's a historical fact, it is here. Anyway, when Wike is done, I don't want you to get that fool anymore. Maybe tomorrow channels will interview him again. He'll start talking his usual rubbish as the fool that he is. That is why somebody will go to Ahaba and ban Biafran flag. The same person banning Biafran flag were part of the people that came to the same Ahaba and massacred people in broad daylight. When I look at the irony of the whole thing, it baffles me. When I see people from Ogoni say they want to be part of one Nigeria, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Honestly, I'm horrified. You mean the same one Nigeria that killed Cancer Wiwa? That is why I say that sometimes people are very, very sick in the brain, honestly speaking. The same people today claiming the police, we are banning Biafran flags in Delta State. They know what they are doing. They have been forcing us all this while, trying to frustrate us so that IPOB can say, okay, give us only 5 eastern, southeastern states, let's go. That's what they want. And any day we say they'll give it to us. That is what they want. But we are saying no. Because that wasn't what Elohim told us. God said, these are my children. From Igodomigod all the way to Bakassi, they are my children. They must be under one house. Different ethnicities, but under one umbrella. Later on, they can go their separate ways. I don't care. But insofar as this fight is concerned, so that when Fulani will be slaughtering you in time to come, we'll simply tell you, we told you so. As I'm telling all of you, I told you so. When I told about people in America, why do you think that they now love us so much in World Igbo Congress? Because I told them in no uncertain terms that these people, they are coming. Yes, they are coming. They said, oh, how do you know? I said, I know, but they are coming. Have they not come today? Are people not running from Omwahia, from Obakala, from everywhere? Yesterday night, they have come. I told you they will come. I told you. In the year 2015, I told you they are going. It doesn't matter what you do, they are coming to take your land from you. The same people that stood us up and shot us to pieces in our Sabbath is telling us, you don't have any identity. You are what we call you. You are now Delta. But in the north, they call themselves Arewa. In the core north, I don't mean Middle Belt. They are Arewa. No one has actually said to them, okay, from today your name is Sahel. Since you're from the Sahel region, your name is Sahel. You're all Sahelians. But they can come to my land and say, you're a Deltan. You're a Riverian. You're a cross Riverian. God have mercy. But you cannot ask them now to drop the name Arewa and they will listen to you. They'll tell you no, they won't drop it. Let us call them the Sahelians. He says that from the Sahel. The death is not in Ebonyi State, is in Ebonyi people that were wrongly carved into Benue State. That is where the problem is coming from, please. And we're going to do, ESN is going there, we're going to deal with it. In the next few days, you start hearing stories. We're going to deal with it. A little boy wrote to me, and I've read what he said to me, and we're going to respond. In the next few days, men will be on the ground to defend those places. Don't worry about that. We know what we're doing. And I don't want to talk about Wike again, it's irrelevant. Yeah, let him go and change his pampers and go and meet Tambuwa. It's Tambuwa that will deal with him. Anything, he can say whatever rubbish he likes on Channels TV. My only happiness is that when he goes inside the bedroom, Tambuwa will deal with him. That's my only happiness. That's my only happiness. The killing of Igbo people in Benue State must stop. Governor Otome, a man that I like very much, and I respect immensely, the killing in Benue State of Igbo people must stop. And the killing of fact of everybody in Benue State must stop, not just Igbo people. Everybody, the killing must stop. And if help is needed, that help will be provided. Yes, after after talking all your rubbish, my happiness is that in the night you'll be crying because Tambuwal will be on your back and be dealing with you. Be dealing with you. Idiot to the guy. Fool. The killing of people in Benue must stop. And when people are asking ESN to intervene, when people are asking ESN to intervene, you must understand that we are fighting many battles at the same time. Exactly what happened during the war. We are fighting Miyetti Allah, the frontline Fulani terrorist group we have. Before, imagine what we have to negotiate before we come into your village in Benue. We have to fight Miyetti Allah. We have to fight the Nigeria police. We have to fight the Nigeria army. We have to fight, I hope going forward, I won't say we have to fight the governors. So let me leave them out for now. We have to fight all the saboteurs, the finger pointers. We have to fight the intellectuals. And we need to overcome Yoruba Gota media. These are the battles we face every blessed day. Tell me a group of people that will face such formidable adversaries and they will survive. But we are here. We are here. So these are the issues that we have to confront, but we are going to Benue and we're going to help them. ESN will be in Benue State and we are going to help Benue people. And we are not coming to take over your land. We are coming to help you. There is nothing. I am a child of heaven. I am Hebraic in my disposition. What it means is that I cannot take any land that doesn't belong to me. Do you understand? That is why in our culture, when you commit an offense where somebody, as a child, you are trained that some capital crimes is a crime against the land, not crime against humanity. You understand? That is why when you want to offer prayers, you take off your shoes and you stand on the land. You pour kai libation, hot drink on the ground itself. That is why if you commit a capital crime, the land which you stand upon, because on that land you're going to build a house, on that land you're going to cultivate, on that land you're going to be buried. This is how the ancients structured our society. So even if nobody is watching you when you want to commit a crime, the land you're standing on is watching you. I can't wait for Biafra to come so we can go back to the way of our ancestors. The old ways, the ways of the ancient. That is why in our land, we abhor things like selling of children. It's an abomination before God and before man. And anywhere you know people from today who are selling children, please let us know. Anywhere you know people, any doctor, any midwife, any hospital, any maternity home involved in the selling of children, please, you notify us so we can go and deal with them. So also is kidnapping. God is against it. Our land is against it. We don't want it. That is why I want to commend the Nnewi Vigilante group for busting a racket. There's a racket going on somewhere around Ubo. People selling small children. And do you know one thing? Surprise, surprise, the police are involved in the selling of children in our land. People don't understand the level of atrocities going on in our land every blessed day, and the work we are doing to try to stop them. I commend the Nnewi Vigilante group for doing a very stellar work. And I have also instructed ESN. We have no business with legitimate vigilante groups like the ones we have in Nnewi and in Onitsha. It's only when they try to interfere with our work that they will get into trouble. So we must commend them. And that we now have the name of the maternity. We have the police officers who are involved. And very soon we're going to pay them a visit. Maybe you read about it in the pages of newspapers as well. And another thing that is very worrying is this. There is news making the rounds that we have caught those that killed Ahmed Gulag and we shot them. That's what they said, without going to trial. Now, people have been approaching us begging for peace, for truce, and all the rest of it. Let's try and give peace a chance, which is normal. After the very successful lockdown yesterday, let's give peace a chance. I want the Nigeria police, where I'm warning them in Imo State Police Command. I want you to identify all the officers that killed people and tag them the murderers of Ahmed Gulag. You must give us the evidence that you have. Because all this, your plan is not going to work. Katrina Lang, Tinubu, Monguno, El Rufai, all these stupid, idiotic village plan you people made to come and kill a man who is of no consequence to us. A man, we didn't even know who this man was before Sunday. Who is he? A wretched church rat. Who is he to us that we would want to kill him? And I want to warn Yoruba media tonight. From 1967, you people have been part and parcel of the problem of Nigeria. After Nigerian politicians, the next group are Yoruba media, Yoruba journalists. You don't want to leave evil alone for evil to leave you. You people have come back to the same rubbish you were doing before. There is no repentance in you because of money. There is no repentance in you people. No repentance whatsoever. You've been writing your junk, how Ahmed Gulag was killed, and because of that, an innocent man has been murdered in Mina, somewhere. There is something in this life called common sense. And when I insult black people for being stupid or being the closest relatives to a chimpanzee, this is exactly the same. This is the reason why I say the things that I say against black people and the way we reason. Black people are very, very foolish. I don't care if children are listening. We black people are very foolish. Now, let me ask Yoruba journalists one simple question. I don't want to, because Fulani is uneducatable. You can't educate them, they're foolish. I want to ask Yoruba people, these sophisticated morons that claim they went to school, a very simple question. A man of national importance came to Imo State at the instance of the state governor, or say the Senate sent him to Imo State, in a place where there is supposedly insecurity. Is that correct? I want Yoruba journalists to listen to me very carefully tonight, because you people are evil. I don't know if you derive, you people are sadists. I don't know if you derive any joy by twisting the truth. I don't know what you people gain by lying. I don't know. I want to ask you a simple question. If the Senate, as they claim, sent this man to go and conduct constitutional review, of course, we know we have to ask Hope for money. He went to Imo State so that Hope can settle him. He was the one that made Hope governor. We know that well. Let us take the official government line of Nigeria. Gulak was in Imo State to do Senate work, open consultation. Man, he's an APC man, but Senate is not claiming he went to work for them. Let us accept. Where was his security on his way to the airport? According to the police, this is why I keep saying that black people do not reason. According to the police said he never told anybody where he was going to. He never asked for any escort, which means that the man knew that his life was in danger from you people, from the army and from the police, or from those that control you people. Does that make any sense at all? I don't, let me finish what I'm saying before I go to this killing of people, 8 people in Omai. I'll talk about it. If you don't want to organize yourselves and fight back, keep on. If you see the army, keep going to them. These are terrorists in uniform, both army and police. I have warned you, you don't want to listen. Go to them now. Your intellectual brother in Lagos or in Abuja will be writing nonsense. Is our security services. And I asked them, where are the Boko Haram that was recruited into the police and into the army? Where are they? I don't know what's normal killing people. Don't organize yourselves and fight back. Just be there and everything you want us to do for you, everything we have to do for you. No, we are not. Every able-bodied young man and woman, avoid army, avoid police. If you see them, you attack them. I'm saying it in the open. They are killing people in Omai right now. 8 people already shot dead. 8 people killed in Omai now. And you're telling me rubbish about Chirekapu and you want Nigeria. God punish all of you. Idiots everywhere. As I was saying to Yoruba, sophisticated morons, idiots that write for their columnists and all these correspondence that they have. If Gulag was on a national assignment for the Senate, why did this man not tell the army or the police to escort him to the airport? Simple question. Because he knew after meeting Hope, that his life was in danger, because Hope, being a 419 man, had no intention to give him the money that he had promised him. Very simple. Ali Monguno used it as a perfect excuse to kill him. Yoruba newspapers, why have you failed to publish the video of Ahmed Gulag where he was accusing Monguno of corruption and he was praying in Arabic, saying that he is not afraid of any man, that they can do anything they like to him? Did you read it? So, Yoruba journalists, you people are part and parcel of the plan to eliminate and wipe away the Igbo race from the face of the earth. All of you are part of this very plan. That was the reason why, without any investigation, you rushed to conclude that it was IPOB ESN that killed him. How many people have we killed before? You people are part and parcel of this very plan, Yoruba journalists, to kill Igbo people. And you wonder why Yorubas are in Benin Republic in refugee camps. Where I come from, it's called Akansi Haibahonu. The hand with which you have fed poison to other people, you will inadvertently put in your mouth, and you become poisoned. As you're busy writing junk about IPOB and ESN, Fulani al-Shabaab from Somalia are in your land, taking over your territory. By the time you wake up from your stupidity, to be too late. I will ask you again, why would any day there is some form of independent inquiry into the death of Ahmed Gulak, the first question will be, why did he not seek police escort to the airport? Therein lies the answer. And I also want to teach Nigerians, these black animals called Nigerians, a very simple lesson. Please, a very simple lesson. You know, when there is murder, all of you that may watch murder series, CSI or New York or whatever it's called, all those US movies, you see that. If you go to a police station anywhere in the Western world, those of you listening to us from the US or from the UK, if you go to anywhere at all now, go to a police station and ask the policeman, when there is murder, who is the first suspect? If it's a man, the first suspect will be the wife. Because very rarely do people you don't know commit crime randomly. No. His was a targeted assassination. Therefore, it is those who are close to him that will know what happened to him. Any detective in the world, the first place they will start is from his phone book. Who did he have dinner with? The last people that he saw, that is where their investigation will start. In this case, it's Hopus Odema and those in APC. And those he was. In fact, after that, the police will ask you, does he have enemies? I'm just teaching you people what the IG of police doesn't even know. The IG don't know this. Ask any policeman in the world, when you're investigating a homicide, the first suspects are people who are close to the man, starting from the wife, the children, the friends, and the political associates. Isn't it how it is done everywhere in the world? Do you know why somebody close to him killed him? Because he was fearful of his own life. That was why he sneaked out of the hotel. He did not want to let the police or the army to know. If the police and the army do not know his whereabouts, how can IPOB know? Simple question. After all these overwhelming evidence, a Yoruba journalist, what type of God made these people, will sit down and be writing nonsense. That suspects are IPOB and ESN. And I want to ask this, all these years of writing junk and supporting evil, where has it gotten the Yoruba race? Are you people benefiting? Are you having fun in Nigeria? All these years of writing nonsense after nonsense, trying to incite genocide against Igbo people, what have you benefited? Yoruba journalist, I'm asking you. Tomorrow morning night you will write. ESN is a suspect, IPOB. But the man did not even tell them. I mean, he avoided them because he knew his life was in danger at the hands of the army and the police. Don't you get it? And how come those with him in the vehicle were not killed? How come it's only him? Where is the driver of the vehicle he was riding in? Have you interrogated him? The police went to somewhere around Mbisa and killed people, and they are claiming that what's it called? We found them. Found them where? With what evidence do you have? And some people are writing rubbish on social media. And you're telling me that the Nigerian army, they deserve to live? That the Nigerian police, they deserve to live? Today, in Omaha, 8 people killed, that they deserve to live? God punish all of you evil people. As I said from the beginning, they will kill us, we will kill them. In the end, we are going to win. That's the way it is. The very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
everybody. Very wonderful. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that